So this is the first time that this has happened in a long time. I just did this reaction and I realized I wasn't recording. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I just heard both versions here, but I'll do it again. I wasn't recording. That's never happened. Anyway, Morrissey. This is Morrissey Friday. We got Morrissey, and we got two versions here. Like I said, I was listening to both songs. It's hard to walk tall when you're small. People suggested both versions. There's a faster one, and there's a slower one. So, yeah, this time we are recording, and now people will actually hear me. I'm not just talking to myself in my room now. So, anyway, let's get into the first one here. Talk about it after. We'll probably not really talk too much about it, but we'll get right into the next one. But, yeah, let's go. I can't believe it.
I can kill standing still, it's easy. I can scare with a stare, it's easy. Hey Ringo, it's sad though, because it's hard to walk tall when you're small. Whether dressed in discipline style, never mind. When you're small, you walk as if you're falling. I attack from the back because it's easy. I can assail while wearing very nice jewelry. Oh, hey Ringo, it's sad though, because it's hard to walk tall when you're small. Whether dressed in disciplined style, never mind. When you're small, you spend your life crawling. Burst into public bars, and I throw my weight around, and no one can even see me. No one can even see me. Nobody can see me. No one can see me. Success is just a mess. Oh, hey Gringo, it's sad though, because it's hard to walk tall when you're small. Whether dressed in disciplined style, never mind. When you're small, you're bound to look appalling. Compadre, please do this for me. Compadre, please read for me. Compadre, compadre, please read for me.
There it is. The first part anyway, the first one, which is a faster, more familiar version. And again, I will just say, I guess I was going to not say much, but I do want to say I love his high notes, obviously, especially near the end. Of course, that's just, I love when he gets to that register, when he can really change his voice and go high. I mean, my God. And again, he sounds so confident. He sounds cocky again. He sounds sarcastic. This is just classic Morrissey. Again, this was from, I do believe that version anyway saw the light of day as a B-side, again, from You're the Corey. And he was, you know, that was his time of resurgence. That album was very good for him. And again, he sounds strong. He sounds bold. Again, he sounds to be at his best. Wittiness, wise, I can't say it. And yeah, so it's kind of funny. It's humorous, but at the same time, he seems, you know, to be saying, don't mess with me, bud. and we'll talk about who maybe he may be talking about. That was English, I think. Who he may be talking about in a little bit. But let's get to the slower version now and talk about that one after. Again, I can't believe I didn't record. That's ridiculous. Already a different feel. Obviously.
With a stare, it's easy, it's easy. I can kill standing still. It's easy, it's easy, but it's attack from the back. It's easy.
It's easy.
I could be a fly on the wall. Oh, it's so easy, but it's hard
Love that.
to walk tall. Oh, when you're small, when you're small, when you're small. When you're small.
High notes.
That's it.
Call me crazy, but I like that version more, I have to say. Again, I feel dumb doing this again, but nobody saw the first part, so I gotta pretend like, I haven't done this already. But yes, I like this slower version more, I have to say. Both versions are very good. I love, I just love how melancholic this one is. I love how slow it is, obviously. I love how Morrissey is kind of, crooning in a way, that it has that swaying kind of feeling to it, just almost feel like you could fall asleep, but not in a bad way. I'm talking about, in like an ASMR way or whatever. It feels good. You get the tingles. And I don't know what that means, but anyway, I just love how because this almost gives it a haunted kind of feeling. Because when Morrissey talks, and again, I think the lyrics are a little bit different on this one. I don't think there's as many lyrics in the slower version than in the other, faster one. That's what, and which kind of seems weird because the slower version is longer, so you think there may be more. But when Morrissey says that's it, which I like. I like how there's little points, because again, I guess this was a demo, whatever the hell you want to say. This was an unreleased track, as it's put in the title here, which again, it was an unreleased track. I guess if I see here on Passions Just Like Mine, a slow ballad written by Spencer Coburn, I guess around 1997, and again, it didn't. I guess it ended up getting obviously re-recorded around 2003 for the You Are the Corey kind of album around the time as a B-side again. But obviously, 6 years later, and they kind of redid it a little bit and obviously changed it up. I do believe Alan White, I want to say, was kind of headed that other version, the faster one, and then like I said, Spencer was doing the slower one. Anyway, and I don't know if it's just because I've talked so much before about how much I like Spencer Coburn, he is my favorite drummer Morrissey's had, which, again, the operator is just nuts. But anyway, I just gotta say, maybe that's what's shining through here, but I do really enjoy just how slow, and again, maybe haunting, like I said, when Morrissey is, saying these words and talking about, he's talking about his confidence, talking about, you don't know who I am in a way, and he's doing it in a slow way like this. It gives it a haunting kind of feeling. It gives a kind of a, he seems like he's kind of pissed. Where's he going with this one? I don't know. So just to do that in a slow way, it just gives it that kind of oomph, and it gives it that kind of a feel, like I said, where it feels like, you wouldn't want to mess with old Stephen Patrick Morrissey, I guess, on this one. So anyway, like I said, but again, both versions are great, I think. And again, I love his high voice, especially on the faster version. I know he went to that register on the slower one, but the higher one, the faster one, especially near the end, like I said earlier, I just didn't expect him to go there. I didn't expect his voice to go that high. And, again, he can fluctuate his voice, however you want to say. He can change his voice, change his tone so well. His delivery, you never know. It can be unpredictable. And I like that. And again, I love the bass work. I forget what version I said off the top earlier, whatever the hell, during one of the songs I said I love that bass work, but it was very good. I mean, my God. And again, it was kind of frantic, I would say, for the first version, obviously frantic, fast, energetic as hell, and just wild, and Morrissey again feeling like he's at his witty best, like I said, and in the slower one, it just seems so much more laid back and relaxed, and I don't know, I just like that. Whatever you're in the mood for, whether you're feeling like you want to, be attacked, you can listen to the fast version, or if you're in a sleepy mood, you can listen to the slow version, and it's the best of both worlds, I guess. But at the end of the day, I do want to say, when you look at, songmeanings.com, I, peruse the internet, and when you look at the comments and stuff, he's talking with these lyrics. He's talking about Ringo. Obviously, he's making a reference to Ringo, and obviously, this is what people are saying. I'm seeing here, and I'll just say it. Apparently, I don't know why I'm treating this like this, but anyway, he might be talking about Mike Joyce, of course, drummer of the Smiths, and of course Mike Joyce. And if this was recorded, for the first time, whatever, in 1997, even though it's a Spencer Coburn, I guess it said he wrote it. I do believe Morrissey did the lyrics. Maybe Spencer just wrote the music, but anyway, so around the time, I do believe Mike brought Morrissey to court or whatever, sued him. I do believe, around that time, 1997. I actually am not very familiar with the whole case or what Mike was fighting for. I'll be honest with you. I just haven't, I was never really interested. And I just hate when, obviously bands dissolve and, become enemies, basically. But anyway, but I do know, obviously, Mike Joyce brought him to court for money. And I do believe, I want to say, did Andy do that too? I can't remember either way. If they had other court cases, they must have. But yeah, so apparently he might be talking about Mike Joyce. And obviously, I gotta say, I don't know how tall Mike Joyce is. I don't know if we're talking about penises here, or just talking about, you don't have to be small in stature, but you're small, you're just a small person, through your atmosphere, through your vibes, through what you did to me, what you put me through, bringing me to court. If we're going that way, if we're talking about what Mike Joyce got out of Morrissey, whatever, and brought him to court and all that crap or whatever, and suing him, and he's just a small man for doing that. And I do believe Morrissey, I want to say, he's not that short or whatever. I do believe he's like 6 foot, 5'11", something like that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I do want to say, with the references to Ringo, I do know Ringo was a smaller fella. And if you want to just say, with the Beatles, obviously Ringo wasn't the most talented. Ringo wasn't the most talented in the Beatles, and I'm not breaking new ground, obviously. I mean, I think George, Paul, or John could have played the drums, but either way, Ringo had his own flair. But of course, Ringo was small. He wasn't the best one in the Beatles. So it's like, is Morrissey, putting that on Mike Joyce, saying, Andy, me, or Johnny could have gotten and play drums. We could have got a monkey to play the drums. I mean, come on now. And saying at the same time, he's not as popular. He's not as talented as, Morrissey was. He's not as talented as Andy was or as Johnny was. That kind of a thing. Is he referencing Ringo for that? So that comes to mind too. And again, just mentioning Ringo. Obviously, if I think of Ringo Starr, I don't know if he's talking about another Ringo or what. But if we're talking about Mike and we're talking about Ringo the drummer, then it all kind of fits in. And Morrissey's again is kind of giving off his frustration here, you would say, and again, he's very melancholy at the same time, and he seems very pissed off with whoever he's talking about, Mike Joyce, perhaps, I'll say again. But I'm trying to find these lyrics now, my goodness. But yeah, I think I kind of explained everything at the top. I mean, this video is already long enough, but anyway, yeah, I like both versions, but I like the slower one more. I don't know, I guess I'm just that kind of guy, but at the same time, they both had feeling, passion, that raw emotion, and Morrissey doesn't seem to be pleased with whoever he is mentioning here, obviously. So with the first verse, we'll talk about, and again, I don't know if these lyrics differ or what, because, between versions, but this is what's on genius.com, but I do want to also mention, might as well, my goodness, I forgot to do this, but on the first slower version, it says the musicians assumed on the track, this is from Passion Just Like Mine, are Buzz Borer and Alan White on guitars, maybe more. It says they could have been on more stuff. Johnny Bridgewood on bass and Spencer Coburn on drums. And on the more familiar, faster version, Buzz Borer and Alan White appear again on guitar, Gary Day on bass, Dean Butterworth on drums, and Roger Manning on piano. And that piano was beautiful in that slower version too. Really added that something extra to that slower thing, or not slower, he was on the faster version. What I'm saying. Anyway, I like the piano. I gotta say, it was beautiful either way. I got messed up. He wasn't on Roger wasn't on the slower one. My God. Never mind. So I can kill standing still. It's easy. I can scare with a stare. It's easy. Again, he has that confidence. Again, Morrissey here has that confidence. He has that killer instinct almost. Again, he's almost saying, he's self-aware and he's ready for a fight. I don't know, that comes to mind. Ready for a court fight? I don't know. This chorus we go into, hey Ringo. Again, he sounds so what's the word? He's so assured of himself, and he's not scared. That all comes through. Anyway, hey Ringo, it's sad though, because it's hard to walk tall when you're small. Again, he's going right in. He's jabbing him. Whether dressed in disciplined style, never mind. When you're small, you walk as if you're falling. Again, it talks, I think, again, about how the whole thing, you don't have to be small in stature. You could be small downstairs. Who knows? I don't know. That comes to mind. But anyway, when being small is a feeling. It is a vibe. It's a vibe, whatever the hell. It's the feeling you give off. And it seems like to Morrissey here anyway, that's what this person's giving off. I attack from the back because it's easy and I can assail while wearing very nice jewelry. And I don't know if because obviously you wouldn't be proud of the fact that you attacked from the back, because that's obviously kind of a cheating way to do it, or that's kind of a pussy way to do it, you might say. Anyway, but so it's almost like, is Morrissey being sarcastic there, or is he kind of given that verse to the other person who attacks from the back, and because it's easy, that comes to mind anyway? But either way, perhaps Morrissey attacks from the back, and he does it with that nice jewelry on. Again, he'll attack at any point. He doesn't have to be, dressed up like a boxer or whatever. He can do it at any point, whatever he's wearing. Come on now. And then we have the chorus again. Oh, hey, Ringo, it's sad, though, because it's hard to walk tall when you're small. And that goes on there, but I already read it. So with the bridge, I burst into public bars and I throw my weight around. It's just funny because if you picture Morrissey, who was always talking about kind of being a recluse, kind of being has always kept to himself. You just can't imagine him busting into a bar and, throwing his weight around and saying, who's in charge before I got here, that kind of thing. And no one can even see me. No one can even see me. No one can even see me. Again, I feel like because he's small, I burst into a bar, throw my weight around, but no one can see me because I'm so small. Again, Morrissey is just, jabbing, just getting this guy every time. And then the pre-chorus, success is just a mess. And maybe, again, you talk about, if we're going with the whole Mike Joyce thing, success is a mess. Obviously, a mess came of the group. And I know Morrissey has said, I want to say when he was interviewed by Larry King, when he said, obviously, I feel like all members, but especially him, he said, they were happy it was over because they didn't really like each other. And, success can be a mess in that way. But anyway, we go on with the second chorus, hey, gringo, which I know was a derogatory term. But again, it seems like Morrissey is, he's not afraid to call somebody that, especially this person he doesn't like. It's sad though. Again, he has that wittiness again. It's sad though. It's sarcastic. Obviously, there's that whole kind of, he feels sad for them, but he really doesn't. Because it's hard to walk tall when you're small, whether dressed in disciplined style. Never mind. When you're small, you're bound to look appalling. Again, you're bound to look appalling. You just look like an ugly piece of crap. So, compadre, please do this for me. Compadre, please weep for me. Compadre, compadre. And I don't know, the whole point of, the compadre, and earlier, like I said, with the whole kind of gringo thing, I don't like saying it, but anyway, obviously, we're getting a little bit Spanish here, so I was like, what's that about? But anyway, again, I feel like, if we are talking about Mike, I don't know, he just went that way just because, whatever. But again, talking to that whole last part, please weep for me, please weep for me, please cry for me, please, bow down to me in a way, I am in control of you. You weep to me because I am stronger than you, I am bigger than you, and I'm not going to weep to you, you weep to me because I'm the bigger person here, and I'm more important, I'm bigger, my goodness. That kind of thing comes to mind again, and he's kind of, again, giving a jab and saying, I'm not going to cry about you, you're going to cry about me because I'm all you have, you're obsessed with me. This kind of thing comes to mind. But anyway, obviously, if you want to take all the Mike stuff away, the Mike Joyce stuff away, this is a good song too if if you've ever felt betrayed, if you've ever felt unwanted or whatever the hell, if you've ever not had that connection with whomever, I guess, and you want to get back at somebody. So it gives you that kind of a sense as well. But anyway, I feel like Morrissey's probably talking a little bit personal here, and as many people have already said, again, through the comments that I'm just reading and giving their interpretations, I guess we're talking about maybe his old bandmate and how he feels about that. But anyway, obviously, I love the reference to Ringo here. Again, obviously no disrespect to Ringo. I think he's like the richest drummer of all time, today anyway. And I think he's like, Ringo was born like 1940. He's got to be like 83, 84, and he still looks 60. So shout out to Ringo. But anyway, obviously Morrissey was not having it, and I really enjoyed his style here, and I really enjoyed his wittiness and just how pissed off he sounded. So anyway, I guess that's all I'm going to say. This video is way too long, but this was 2 songs and I got going, and thank God I had the record. It was recording this time. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all this stuff. Really appreciate all the support, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.